Welcome to Underworld UK, where Britain's darkest stories are brought to light. From the gritty streets of gangland London, Liverpool, Manchester and Birmingham, from Curtis Warren to the Cray twins to county lines and modern-day true crime, we cover everything. Bringing you new videos every week. Subscribe so that you'll be notified when the next video is put out.
The evil monster Ian Huntley is dead. However, the question I ask the viewers is, would you prefer him to still be alive and suffer for the rest of his life, with taxpayers paying for his existence, or do you prefer him dead? Please let me know in the comments section, as I am curious and there seems to be a divide between viewers. Anyway, let's get into the actual details of his death. Ian Huntley's life support was shut off a few hours ago, leaving the monster hours from death with his mum at bedside after brutal jail beating. But now he has been officially pronounced dead. The double child killer's life was ebbing away after medics withdrew a ventilator that was keeping him alive following consultations with his mother Linda Richards. Ultimately, it was his own mother's choice to turn the machine off. Huntley's daughter wasn't at the hospital for his final moments and never has visited him and has always disowned the monster. So he pretty much died alone, which he absolutely deserves, and there won't be anyone mourning his death. In fact, we should use this time and opportunity and time to remember the lives of the two children that the monster had cruelly taken. But is finally justice for the families of Holly and Jessica? Or is it just the quick, easy way out for Huntley? We told in our last video how Huntley's mum, Linda Richards, aged 71, had made a dash to hospital to see him. Linda, the sole relative to visit him in hospital, was understood to have been at his bedside today as his pitiful life slipped away. The mother of Ian Huntley reportedly made a secret journey to see her son in hospital. She allegedly later told friends, "Part of me hopes he passes away following the child killer's assault behind bars." Linda travelled 175 miles from a Lincolnshire home to be at her son's bedside, with one source alleging she subsequently confessed to friends that she just wants to be free of it. Sources said Huntley's life support was switched off at lunchtime after brain tests showed he was in a vegetative state. We told yesterday how he had been blinded in the savage ambush at HMP Frankland, Durham, and was unlikely to survive. Huntley, 52, suffered severe brain trauma in the attack at HMP Frankland, Durham on 26 February. After the attack, Huntley's only daughter, Samantha Bryan, 27, told The Sun on Sunday of her father, "There's a special place in hell waiting for him." Earlier this week, the Mirror reported that Huntley will not be sent back to the jail known as Monster Mansion if he recovers. His injuries are so horrific that he will instead be sent to Ashworth Hospital on Merseyside. Huntley was brutally battered by another lag with a 3-foot spiked metal pole in a jail workshop just after 9 a.m. last Thursday. He was understood to have been able to shallow breathe without life support, but was not expected to survive for more than 24 hours. A source said last night, "This is it, this is the end of Huntley. He's effectively dead and at the best is drawing his last breaths. No one who's dealt with him is shedding a tear. Even his mother's accepted that this is for the best, having seen him and knowing what a state he is in. He never really recovered from the beating he took and never stood much of a chance of doing so. Huntley had been attacked loads of times in prison, so the day he was killed was always likely to arrive. We told last Saturday how Linda, supported at hospital by a pal and liaison officers, told friends Huntley was unrecognisable after the attack. She also confided that she knew flags will fly high if he dies due to his heinous crimes. Huntley was taken to hospital last Thursday following the assault at FMP Frankland in County Durham. Sources told how medics worked miracles to save him and how prison staff assumed he was dead when they found him in a pool of blood. The monster's demise comes almost 24 years after he murdered 10-year-old friends Holly Wells and Jessica Chapman in Soham, Cambridgeshire, in August 2002, in a crime that horrified the nation. His name will be forever remembered for the evil killings of the two innocent pals who were last seen in matching Manchester United football shirts. In December 2003, Huntley was jailed for life with a minimum 40-year tariff following a harrowing Old Bailey trial. We exclusively told last week how Huntley, who was hated in jail, had been bludgeoned up to 15 times. His alleged attacker yelled, "I've done it, I've done it, I've killed him, I've killed him." Huntley had been in an induced coma since the assault, understood to have been carried out by triple killer Anthony Russell, 43. The prison service confirmed a prisoner was taken from HMP Frankland in County Durham, a hospital, on Thursday morning. Durham Constabulary said a male prisoner in his mid-40s suspected of carrying out the attack was in detention but had not been arrested at this stage. The Sun newspaper, which first reported external the attack, said Huntley was beaten with a metal pole. An air ambulance was dispatched to HMP Frankland, but the North East Ambulance Service spokesperson said the injured inmate was taken to hospital en route. Durham Constabulary confirmed a police investigation is underway and that detectives are liaising with staff at the prison. Police were alerted to an assault which had taken place within HMP Frankland in Durham this morning, a Durham police spokesman said. A male prisoner in his mid-40s suffered serious injuries during the incident and was transported to hospital. The deaths of 10-year-old Jessica and Holly in the quiet Cambridgeshire town of Soham on August 4, 2002, shocked the country. Huntley, originally from Grimsby, enticed both schoolgirls into his home and murdered them before dumping their bodies in a ditch some 12 miles away. Suspicions were raised about Huntley after he gave detailed interviews to the media about Holly and Jessica. 2 weeks after they disappeared, Holly and Jessica's bodies were found in a ditch near an airbase in Luckenhead, Suffolk. Huntley, who was a caretaker at Soham Village College, was arrested and charged with the murders. During his trial at the Old Bailey, prosecutor Richard Latham QC described Huntley as ruthless and said Huntley's accounts of both deaths were desperate lies. In his evidence, Huntley claimed Holly died accidentally after falling into his bath when he was helping her with a nosebleed. However, he admitted he had killed Jessica by putting his hand over her mouth to stop her screaming, and he told police lies to cover his tracks. Huntley also admitted dumping the girls' bodies in the ditch and trying to burn them. Huntley was convicted on December 17, 2003, following a trial at the Old Bailey. He was ordered to serve a minimum of 40 years in prison before being considered for release and will not be eligible for parole till 2042. His girlfriend, Maxine Carr, a teaching assistant at the girls' primary school, was also jailed in 2003 after being found guilty of conspiring to pervert the cause of justice. She was freed from jail and given a new identity in May 2004. After his arrest, it emerged Huntley, now 52, had been able to work with children despite being the subject of rape and sexual assault complaints. Huntley had been the subject of a series of complaints made to police in Humberside, where he had worked before. A subsequent inquiry led to criminal checks on anyone working with children. It's not the first time Huntley has been injured while serving time in prison. In September 2005, Huntley was scalded with boiling water at FMP Wakefield. He had been in the healthcare wing of the West Yorkshire jail at the time of the attack. In 2008, Huntley was moved to FMP Frankland, a Category A high-security men's prison. While at FMP Frankland, he was attacked and slashed across the throat in March 2010 by a prisoner who was said to have been armed with a razor blade.